plans. And don't let it fool you. The system is strategical and tactical. It would throw away little white racists that got 2 cents to their name. It would throw them away to break you down, because it's still better that they might luck up and take you out.
Yeah, it was crazy when the LA thing, because now that I look in hindsight, I was just so irritated. But I mean, there was reports of 100 Proud Boys coming my way, and there's like 10 of us.
Yeah.
And my ass wouldn't leave. That didn't make no sense.
And that's it. And that's because sometimes we are so ingrained with how we think we have to be, because Medgar Evers should not be dead.
Or the emotion.
Yeah, and he wasn't emotional. This is why I be telling people. They say, I'm down for the call. I'm going to tell you, I got people like Mr. L.A., Roe, Jason, El Rico, Lloyd, Jay, brothers that wherever I go and I need them, they're going to show up. There's no way that they should be out there by themselves. And Medgar Evers should not be coming home by himself that time of night. It should have been brothers. He lives there. He's supposed to have his area swept on a regular basis. There's no way Brian D. LeBecq should have been able to sit up in a tree, sit up across the street and with a long gun and kill Medgar. See, we are too caught up in these movie appearances of what the struggle looks like. We are sitting around here basing our struggles off of movies. Higher Learning. Yeah, it was a good movie, but it's not how we should be doing things. And that's what goes to Cuban was said. People are like, oh, I can't believe he lied about this, he lied about that. I will lie about anything I need to lie about to put us in better position to fight about. So y'all miss me with that. Y'all miss me.
So with that being said, is anybody in here in LA area that's going to come out here with me Saturday? Because I'm going. But there'll be a whole bunch of other people out there. But right.
Yeah, that's another thing I got mad about. I get mad about they got all these people here. Nobody got any water. They got any damn water. Exactly. Medgar should have had 3. If he was such a great leader to you all, and you all just he's where you all at? Where the single brothers at? You ain't got no wife to be home to. You should be guarding Medgar. Mm-hmm. And that's what the movement is missing. The movement is missing those who are willing to protect the leaders, because it's like, oh, I got something to do. You ain't got to do what? What is it you have to do? Either you are in the movement or you're not. It's just right now. It's like people say, I'm down for you, King. I'm down for you, King. I'm down for you, King. I'll do anything I can, King. Let me see. Did you make some donations to help me feed those who are homeless? Did you make some donations to help me get to these places? No, but I got to do all that, right? But you down for me, but I got to do all that. Okay, I'm good, because I'm gonna do it because I'm down for that. But don't be talking about you'll do anything to help. But when you can do something to help, you don't. And if you can't help donation wise, you can can you do something? Do something. When I come to your town, like say, okay, well, I'm here, we got this. We're gonna have to start realizing that talking about the movement is not the same as being active in the movement. It's not the same. You can't. I keep your king this, keep your king that, if you're not willing to do what it takes to make it possible.
Right.
I'm going to see about dropping off some water with my kids. Great. Like I say. And then this is the thing that people be like, oh, once you here, come here, do this, do that. But you know what they never say? How much it's going to cost to get you there.
Right. We got a place for you when you get here.
That's what I mean. We got, you don't have people don't realize that Martin and those leaders travel, they had people setting up things for them. They had that's one thing before the church came out of the civil rights movement, they would take up donations for these people. They would do it because they knew the work had to be done. But you always sit here and say, oh, I want to do this and I want to do that and I can't. And I say, well, okay, you can make a donation. I still never see it. But every time I make a video, you be like, go King, I understand. King, yes, we understand. But when it's
Yeah, we
time to
don't
do
need
the work,
cheerleaders.
yeah, I don't need a cheerleader. I know what I'm saying is right. I know the moves I'm making are right. And then you go, well, I can't believe, and because y'all have a fear of giving money because you think somebody's trying to scam you, right? Trust me, I don't scam. I'm not scamming you because I scammed large banks when I was. I'm just telling you. You go look. I scam for yeah, scamming and doing the work are two different things. And if I thought scamming would help me do the work as far as scamming bank, I would do it. Yeah, you're talking to somebody who's willing to do whatever it takes to get this march towards liberation popping. You're talking to somebody who says, you know what? If I thought I could go out here and scam Wells Fargo and get money to do these movements and do this, I would. I'm going to look for George Soros and ask him he want to fund something. They always talk about George Soros. I'm gonna walk right up to him and say, "Hey, we need about 1.2 million, and I won't be back to bother you. We need." When I went to Oklahoma City to the Julius Jones, he was like, "Oh, I got you, TNathan. I got you, TNathan." Yeah, I got $75. It costs for per month. We spend upwardly of $1,200 to $1,500 on helping those who have to be homeless with not just food, but like I say, not just food, but we give out these for the women every month. We give out these. There's 120 of them here. We give out socks every month. Every month. And then for the men, I got the same little bag. It just has, the women get that bag, men get this bag. It was stuff in it. All this. Yeah, we do this. I do this. But we always have people talking about, I got you. I got you.
Hey, what is the famous words that you say? Stop following those who have not constructed anything.
Stop taking constructive criticism from
Okay.
those who have not constructed a goddamn thing. I don't take constructive criticism from, if people are like, oh, boots on the ground don't mean anything. You're like, yes, it does. Y'all believe that shit if you want to. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. People that are, I'm not saying that you have, but see, the movement needs the boots on the ground, but it also needs people doing the background stuff to make it possible to be boots on the ground.
What's up, Oran? Oran in the house. Oran's one of my people from New York.
Like I say, I don't go out in the field with anybody who's not listening to me. Nah.
Right.
I don't. The Cuban would tell you that. That's one thing. I'm so glad Cuban and I got the chance to meet for real, because she got to say, you know what? This man gonna jump out the truck and go back there because somebody said something crazy to me. Yeah, he gone. He gone.
And TNathan got to find out that Cuban gonna jump out the truck just because she jumps out the truck.
And sometimes it's like, Cuban,
I ain't playing. I am not playing.
You remind me, I can't say what we did, right? But that handoff was so smooth, right? Everybody in the car was like, how did he get, what happened? That handoff was so smooth. Yeah.
We be moving.
Yeah.
Sticking and moving.
She knows. She's like, all right, TNathan has had enough now. He's going in. So let me pass this off. Yeah.
Yeah, Ro kept clowning. Ro and Rico was like, Cuban, you's a gangster for real. Like, your ass do not play. I be like, look, I'm just a punk. Don't trip.
Don't trip. Don't trip. But see, that's what it is. I mean, and I have to understand, like, the people I surround myself with have to understand that. You have to understand that if I'm there and if it's something we're doing and I organized it and if I'm a part of it, I trust my leadership ability over anybody else's when I bring the people I care about. Because I know you all. I know your capabilities. I study you all. I make sure to put the ones in. I know all that. That's why I spend time. That's why I spend so much time talking to you all or being around you all, because I know what you're capable of. Like I would tell you, there's some things. Remember, I say I can't send. We can't sell. I can't send El Rico to do this because he's not gonna bring him back right.
You know what I loved about the whole New Mexico trip with all of us? There was a unspoken movement And when I say movement, I'm not talking about the boots on the ground part. I'm talking about the flow of energy between all of us. Like everybody knew their position. We didn't have to huddle and talk about you do this and you do that and this is how this is going to be done and this is how you handle that. It was an energy and a movement that was just natural. I knew when to jump, when not to jump. You know, everyone knew where to move
Yeah,
when.
but it
Except
wasn't natural. It wasn't natural. It's because we had worked at it for so long. I mean, it didn't.
we're
I
natural
don't want you
together
because
is
that
what I
kind of
meant.
undermines what I'm saying. If that's like no leadership, no, it wasn't natural. It was like we had paid with this, with the time we have spent knowing each other and knowing my style. No, it
That's what I
wasn't.
mean.
Yeah, it became natural after it became like in military. It was called muscle memory. But no, it wasn't like there's just some esoteric force came in and made this seem like it flowed easy. It flowed easily because we had spent the time.
Oh,
It was like,
absolutely.
yeah. So no, I mean, and without that
No, yeah.
backstory, that's part of that narrative that I try to teach people. No, it doesn't work like that. It doesn't just work. You must work it. You must build a foundation to have that kind of energy, and
Yeah,
we build that
of course.
foundation. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I want I want people to understand that that's exactly
right,
what I'm arguing against is somebody just getting some people together and thinking it's going to flow like that without
right.
building a foundation of saying, yeah. And this is like you would say, you were like, yeah, okay. Um, this is what we're going to do. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And he was like, because we knew like TNathan has already laid down the groundwork for what we're going to do. And it's like, now we follow the plan. And as long as we follow the plan, because what happened when we did the one person we bought that didn't follow the plan, I had to get them in line. I was like,
You know, I think, and yeah, so I just didn't tell the backstory part of that.
yeah.
That led
What's
up
up,
to
Brittany?
up to us having that flow. What's up, Queen? Um, but my thing is it was because we all know each other so well. Like you said, the muscle memory, the talking, the working together that we already do. So once we came together, there was the flow.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it is this. The individuals that were there, this may not be the case all the time. That's why you have to be mindful on who you're around. But everyone there trusted one another.
Yeah. Can you see me?
Yeah.
Okay. What does it look like I'm doing?
Looks like you're texting.
I just wonder because sometimes it's like if I'm texting, they say the screen goes black.
Sometimes
And I
it'll
just
freeze,
wonder.
but it didn't. That's
Oh,
what that instant fam. It was. It was instant fam, but we were fam before we got there.
no, it wasn't. Yeah, yeah. Vanessa,
Yeah.
especially, we paid for that, Vanessa. No, we paid for that bond. That bond cost a lot, and it was worth it. Yeah, I'm not gonna say it is worth it. It is
I
worth
forgot
it.
to
But
whoop her ass though. We were supposed
yeah,
to
me
pillow fight
too.
her ass.
Me too. We
We
were
were
supposed to
supposed
fight. Don't
we
get
were supposed to
next
fight
meetup. We
on site.
fighting. Yeah, we just.
On site.
But and I think that goes into it. It looks from the outside looking in, it looked easy. If you're on the
Right.
outside looking in, it looks effortless. But because you don't see the fights, you don't see the growing pains. You don't see that. None of y'all put me in a headlock. I know I was supposed to put you in a headlock, but I was too busy hugging you and crying. Yeah, I hugged you and cried like a little.
Well, I don't know. I mean, some people saw what we went through to get there, like me, you, and Vanessa.
Yeah, that doesn't count. I'm talking about the outside. I'm talking about the outside. From the outside looking in, it looks easy. But we know things that seem I had hard to get were right. Yeah, it does. I mean, you don't know, so you don't have that same concept, and that's why sometimes people get that idea that leadership is easy. Nah, it's not. It's not. But you have to be built for it. That's another thing about you have to be built for this. And not a lot of people, and it's not taken away from some, but sometimes you have to make decisions And that's like I told you, I don't believe in democracy because everybody, I have a vote. Everybody has a vote. That's some bullshit. I come from the golden stool. The last word on the issue was he who sat on the golden stool, and he would take his advisor's word, but he was the one who was the responsible ultimately for the community. See, democracy is not meant to work for this amount of people we have. But I don't do democracy. I let everybody talk. But in the middle of a battle, it's not time to talk and have a democracy. Right. The person you're following is supposed to know what they're doing and be battle ready. And they're supposed to be tested. That's one thing. That's one thing about between being in the streets at an early age and learning people and going to prison and the experiences of all my lifetime and the ancestors prepared you for. They prepared you. When I'm reading The Art of War at 20 and I'm reading Mastery and I'm reading these things and I'm reading military history, reading about the history of the struggle. I'm reading all this because it gives me a concept of what hasn't worked and what to throw out from the door. There's sometimes somebody be talking to me and I'll be like, yeah, 1964. Yeah, that didn't work then. It's not going to work now. When I'm not. And it's like, and people they get mad at me when I dismiss their ideas outright. I was like, that's not new. If you would have read a book, you would know it's not new. It didn't work in 1985 at Project Move. It didn't work in 1921 in Tulsa. It didn't work in 1919 in East Illinois. It didn't work in 1923 at Rosewood. We have a history of what doesn't work, people. So stop telling me about it, because at the end of the day, that just tells me you have never read about the struggle and the history of what hasn't worked. Even Nat Turner didn't work, because I love Nat Turner. Do you understand that Nat Turner was never buried? Nat Turner was never buried. He was decapitated. His skin, they used his skin to make purses and belts out of. They boiled the flesh away from his bones and kept his bones as souvenirs.
Yeah, I can't handle that story.
Do you understand this? This is what the movement is. He was eaten. Do you understand? This is what I know. I know this. These are the things. And when Lloyd be trying to tell you, he be trying to interview me on the lives, and I be going on, and people don't realize I don't have to stop and look at a computer. I don't have to pick up any of these books. I know this instantly. And I act like it, and I lead like it, and I address like it. And I tell you, we die if we do this. I'm dead serious. I'm not being euphoric. I'm saying, if you try this, you die.
Right.
And sometimes I have to just tie people up and say, I'm not letting you die. That's going to get you killed.
I've been tied up for 2 months now.
Yeah. Because I have to sometimes. Because I'm gonna tell you, and all of the women would tell you that I fear for them. I literally fear for them, because they're so far away from us.
Well,
even Vanessa with that big ass truck.
You all move to California, everybody.
I'm not moving in. I told you, we're not moving where the San Andreas Fault has more input on the ground than I do. No, we're not going. The San Andreas Fault wins. It's not coming.
That's true. That's true.
We're gonna have to, and we can't move. And at least if we move to like somewhere in the middle of the country, all we have to worry about is the caldera that is Yellowstone National Park, becoming the super volcano that it is. Yeah, but if that happens, we don't have to worry about any of this. We won't be worried about any of this, because instant evaporation. All right, darling. It's 1 o'clock here. I know you
gotta get up in a few hours.
11, yeah. And I know you gotta get up, and y'all will be on the phone calling me at 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'll be riding to work with y'all. Yeah, we all get up and ride to work together.
We do.
Yeah. I'll be close to move by. LA is not for me. Now, I would like California for the weather and all that, but it's earthquakes are a deal breaker for me.
So what about Vegas?
Vegas would be great, because when California slides into the ocean, all the new beachfront property is going to be California, Oregon, and Washington. They just going to slide into the ocean, right? So that whole stretch is going to be beachfront property. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Yeah, good.
All right.
Won't have to worry about forest. Won't have to worry about forest fires in San Diego anymore.
Raven, I didn't speak to you when you came in. Sorry. Love you. Mary Cuban, I love you.
Yeah. All right, you all. Thank you all. Thank
All
you.
right.
Hope, like I say, I love these moments when we share. I hope you all get something out of it. Sorry, V. I don't know why. If you got something to send me, send it to Cuban, and she'll send it to me personally. Y'all have a nice night.
Love
All
you
right.